Yo, it's Codec Convos, and in this conversation, we'll be talking about love and issues in relationships. What is love? But there's no real answer to that. The reason why is because everyone loves differently in their own way. I show love by being there for someone, understanding them, giving them space, listening to them, showing love by doing small things. And that's just a mere fraction of how I show love. You can show love by saying it, by showing it through actions, touch. There's many different ways. There's no one version of love. There's just the way you give it and the way you feel it. Love means understanding someone on a deeper level too.
Always meant to be a hero.
You make your own destiny.
Destiny, not having power, seasonal depression, none of these things kept me
From being a hero before, and they won't keep me from being a hero again.
So it's not just what they show on the surface, but what's actually going on in their head and their heart as well. It's about knowing their flaws, their fears, their dreams, and still choosing them anyway.
Can you shoot me? But I don't think you can.
A lot of people are basing their love life off of TikTok rules, and honestly, it's getting ridiculous.
Don't lie to me, tell me you did. Make me feel like the piece of shit I am. Do you love me or not?
Somewhere along the line, we decided that random 15-second clips from Instagram Reels and TikTok videos were the blueprint for having a stable relationship. You've probably seen stuff like, if he wanted to, he would. If she doesn't post you, she's hiding something. Or if they have an argument, leave him. Bro, that's not real life, man. It's completely normal. The problem is these rules put everyone in a box. They turn love into a checklist. Like if your partner doesn't do this specific thing, then it's automatically a red flag. But people aren't boxes to tick. We're human. Love should be personal. It should be built on connections based on authenticity, not what girls or guys in the internet say. And that's where real love actually starts. When you choose the person, but not the idea itself. You've got to keep in mind that these people on the internet rarely reflect back on real human connection by creating this fake ideal of what a person should be, when in reality you should be loving someone regardless of the flaws they have. One of my friends also said that social media is a business, not an authentic human connection. The content that you see, which commercializes love, drives men and women to hate each other and validates everyone's worst fears about the other half's secrets, purely to drive engagement.
Maybe you want to do a real date sometime?
Would that be a date with Blonde Blazer or Mandy?
Boundaries in relationships sound simple until they aren't. Some people think a celebrity crush is harmless, others see it as a sign of disrespect. One person can follow someone because they find them attractive and think nothing of it, while their partner feels completely blindsided. These small actions might look innocent, but when does it become too far? We're going to be discussing these two topics and why different people see the same actions in completely different ways. Having a celebrity crush is stupid, especially if you're with someone. It lacks faithfulness and, in my opinion, is a form of micro-cheating. Let me explain. With celebrities, even if you may find them attractive, you should not be calling them a crush or thirsting over them. Put it this way, if you were to be in school or college and you were in a relationship with someone, but the person you're with has a crush on some other dude in your class, how would that make you feel? That's basically cheating. Even if you think you will never get them in a million years because they're a celebrity, you're still having thoughts and ideas of another person. Instead of acknowledging it, people pass it off as if you're insecure. But how's that fair? It's like saying if they became obtainable, you'd move to them because it's now the right person who asked. It's not okay just because it's unlikely. And sometimes these so-called compliments that you are referring to can be classified as a hidden agenda. Just because you find a celebrity attractive doesn't mean that you should say that making edit or make comments saying smash, I can take them both. That sounds mad. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Me flipping reading shit like that makes me feel sick. And psychologically, it can feel quite degrading because you're literally saying that you'll give yourself up to them. And you also got that issue of men following random girls just because they think they're attractive and liking a lot of different women's pictures. You might disguise that as admiration, but why are you looking at other women when you should be focusing on yours? It doesn't make sense to me. Not only that, but following or requesting someone on social media with the intent to talk to them is also wrong as well. In a relationship, you should have certainty and trust, but you're tainting it with lustful thoughts and unfaithful desires. You will not just feel jealous, you'd feel hurt that someone who you truly love with all your heart is not able to do the same as they are giving away fragments of theirs to someone else. Now, some people may think that having a celebrity crush and also talking to other people in general is not micro cheating, or is not cheating at all. The reason why is because when it comes to celebrities or influencers online, yeah, people might repost them or find them attractive, but it's different. There's actual no connection there. We don't know them in real life and they don't know you as well. So we're just surface level. You're just appreciating the way they look. But when you actually talk to someone, like DM them, have a conversation, that's much more different. There's nothing wrong with having the celebrity crush for some people, as long as you respect the limits. There are people who are obsessed with famous people and want to dedicate their whole life to them. And that's when it gets a little bit worrying. So that's the reason why some people say that having a celebrity crush is fine, as long as you don't go beyond that. When it comes to DMing people, the reason why people might not find it cheat is because people have different takes on loyalty. Because for some people, cheating is strictly physical. For others, it's emotional attention, romantic energy, and admiration. If two people are working with different definitions, never talk about it. And conflict is definitely guaranteed. Some people might also say that it's okay because what's important is choosing commitment and respect to the person you love. People think in controlled, private context, couples can discuss celebrities they find attractive and both partners should be open about it. But both partners should respect each other and their boundaries in managing these conversations. Now, in my opinion, conversations about celebrity crushes should never be public, as even if you're anonymous, you're publicly declaring attraction to other people of your partner. You shouldn't be reposting any kind of content that glamorizes or pedestalizes a celebrity, because the only person you should ever outwardly declare any attraction or devotion to is someone you love. Celebrity conversations should be private, intimate conversations between partners while respecting each other's boundaries and emotional sensitivities. Communication is so important in a relationship, as it's like a glue that keeps you both together. It builds trust, which creates a sense of security, and talking to each other produces and deepens intimacy between two people. It helps resolve issues, preventing misunderstandings, and even helps develop on understanding each other's needs. It helps strengthen emotional closeness and bridges the gap between unresolved conflicts, providing support and growth from these conversations. The issues arise when there is a lack of communication. And that's mainly the reason why a lot of misunderstandings and doubts even take place. Without talking to each other, you will never solve anything, and it's the fastest way to ruin your relationship. It's because there's a lot of insecurities that can be built up in a person when you don't be open about the problems you have.
It's different this time.
Now, in order for you to communicate properly, you gotta do it so that there's a balance between being comfortable with what will be discussed and respecting your partner's feelings. When it comes to feelings, don't be insensitive, okay? You gotta sometimes accept that you are in the wrong, okay? And amend your mistakes and admit to them. It hurts to talk about certain topics. So in order for you and them to grow in a relationship, you must speak to each other to understand what's going on in their head. Now, if someone tells you that they don't like something that you're doing, don't give them the excuse of telling them that you've been like this or worse. Instead, improve on these things that you need to work on. You also got to remember that when it comes to conversations about the past, exes can be mentioned, and this is where you can feel the most insecure, but that's totally fine to feel that way. Just remember to keep your cool. You guys do not understand how fortunate you are to talk to each other. I can't even talk to my girl, alright? I've been blocked on socials, from Pinterest to Spotify to even PlayStation, man. And honestly, I think to myself every day if she's okay, how she's doing, and I just want to know if she's happy, okay? Even if that's without me. Do talk to them. Address the issues directly and be open-minded. The last thing you want is to be stubborn in a relationship, because then you're decaying potential. Everyone may have a similar idea of love, but everyone experiences love in their own way. We all define love differently too. When I asked you what love and a good relationship meant to you, your answers really showed just how personal it is. Love gives meaning and comes in many forms, including friendship and family. True love brings happiness and comfort, but you must recognize when it comes fake or disappears and be willing to let go. Love is built on safety, respect, understanding, and commitment. A stable relationship requires daily effort, honesty, loyalty, and communication, especially during difficult times. Love is complex and requires communication, commitment, and respect. Open communication is essential, especially in a long-distance relationship. A perfect relationship doesn't mean being problem-free, but handling challenges together with care and respect. A healthy relationship is built on strong emotional foundations. Love is based on care, respect, trust, and effort. Stability comes from feeling safe and supported together. Love is difficult to define, but involves deep care, respect, growth, and mutual acceptance. It allows individuals to grow together while remaining themselves. So what can we take from this video? Social media creates unrealistic expectations about love and relationships, and we shouldn't compare our real lives to what we see online. Real relationships are not about looking perfect, but about effort, honesty, and understanding. This is why communication is extremely important in any relationship, as it allows people to express feelings and solve problems. Setting boundaries helps both partners feel respected and comfortable, and it also creates trust, which is a key part of a healthy relationship.
Codec combo.